Exactly 2 weeks from today, the Biden administration plans to repeal Title 42. That's the public health order in place at the southern border that allows for the immediate expulsion of some asylum seekers. Many of those at the border claim this will make an already strained, to say the least, situation even worse. One Arizona sheriff says Title 42 is a failure that only brought more chaos to the border, and it should be repealed. Sheriff is with us now, Sheriff David Hathaway, Santa Cruz County, Arizona, on the border in Arizona. All right, Sheriff, I take it that you have a slightly different reason for wanting to repeal Title 42 than the Biden administration does.
Yeah, Leland, Title 42 has turned into this red herring, this weird distraction. It pretends to be a health-related policy, but it's actually turned into something that's trying to be the de facto, the new norm as far as immigration controls. No one even talks about health aspects anymore, but it was supposedly to slow the spread of COVID coming in from, people that would come in from foreign countries. But it turned into a very chaotic thing, and now no one mentions the health aspects. They just say, oh, this is going to result in a surge and an invasion, caravans, the same language that we've heard about forever. But it was a really, really crazy policy. Not only did they implement Title 42, the border crossings were shut down for legal visa holders, the B1 and B2 visa holders from Mexico. And they weren't allowed to cross during this time. So it kind of exacerbated the situation where that put more pressure on crossing between the ports of entry, and there was no processing. Title 42 was an immediate expedited deportation. So since there was no processing, a lot of repeat crossers, 40% of the crossers are estimated to be repeat crossers, and that resulted in inflated statistics since there was no processing.
Okay, but we can all agree, right, that we're having huge numbers of people come across anyway. We had 300,000 gotaways in the past 6 months. That had nothing to do with Title 42. We know that there's tens of thousands of people in Mexico waiting. We know the cartels are advertising Title 42 ends and you're going to get to stay in America. So what would be the plan if you repeal it?
Well, first of all, I don't agree with that, Leland. That gotaways thing was something that was invented about a year and a half ago. If you had added gotaways to all the statistics for all the previous decades, then you can inflate the numbers for all those decades. What has happened is they've put game cameras, motion-activated game cameras up along the border, and if they're activated for any reason, like if a moth flies in front of the camera or a blade of grass blows in the wind, it's counted as a quote-unquote gotaway, and those are added to the statistics. But actually, the statistics are not inflated, and this is not a Democrat versus Republican thing. During the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, practically every year had over 1 million apprehensions at the southwest border. The previous 14 years before the last year, it was well under 1 million and under 500,000 most of those years. Last year, when you had the Title 42 in place, and the visa holders weren't allowed to cross, then you did have more people crossing between the ports of entry.
All right. So, Sheriff, I think we can all, though, reasonably agree that the immigration system's broken, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do we do going forward? They'll have Title 42 fall away, fine. You don't think the numbers are going to go up, I guess, because you say they're inflated now. We know the Border Patrol is already overwhelmed and releasing people into the United States with a pinky promise to show up at an immigration office. What would be your solution?
Yeah, and you're right. You're exactly right. None of those things are the answer. Like, if you put people on an honor system, kind of catch and release, you give them a magical date in the future and tell them to report for an immigration hearing, and those dates are like 3 or 5 years down the road. That doesn't work. The real solution, Leland, is to get personnel at the border to process these claims quickly and adjudicate them, either deny the visa or allow the visa. And you need the immigration judges right at the border so they can process these claims in a more expeditious manner instead of just creating these endless queues, these virtual queues where people are either remaining in Mexico or being released in the United States under some sort of a claim and then told to report in the future.
I love the idea. Okay, we don't have nearly enough judges anyway to be able to process all those people. The Border Patrol is overwhelmed. There's not extra people to surge to deal with this process. So I'm trying to figure out what the practical solution would be day in, day out for these thousands of people that are coming across and, as you noted, being released.
Well, first of all, the Border Patrol is not overwhelmed. The Border Patrol has increased 5 times since 1990. In 1990, there was 4,000 Border Patrol agents. Now there's 23,000 Border Patrol agents.
Every Border Patrol agent I talk to tells me they're
a lot
overwhelmed.
fewer than they used to. So actually, it's way less per agent. And also, population has gone up in the United States by 90 million people since 1990. It's gone up by 50 million people in Mexico during that same period. So we've had a slight uptick last year after 14 years of very low, apprehensions. And this is under both Democrat and Republican administrations. Like every year of Obama was under 500,000, and every year.
Sheriff, I love the statistics, but every time I talk to a Border Patrol agent when I'm down on the border, and all the ones that I continue to communicate, all tell me that they are so overwhelmed that they've become border processors. They're not able to chase after drug runners. They're not able to catch a lot of the people who are coming over who don't want to be caught. And they're essentially just processing all these people because there's too many people for not enough agents. Are they lying to me?
Yeah, they're lying to you. I live right along the border. I can look out my window and see the hills in Mexico. I walk every night with my wife along the border. It's peaceful. It's tranquil. This is just a lot of fear mongering. I get people coming in that want to do ride-alongs with me from every major national network. They say, take me to the border where there's no fence so I can see all the people flooding across. I say, I'll take you there, and I do, but you're just going to hear the wind blowing and the birds chirping. It's not like it's been described. Like I said, there was a slight uptick last year that barely beat one of the records.
I don't know, Sheriff. I got to tell you, hold on, Sheriff. I got 10 seconds. I'll give you the last word. But when I was down at the Rio Grande, it was certainly not peaceful, and there were certainly a whole lot of people. So do I believe you or my lying eyes?
Well, you can come down here and I'll show you. I'll take you along the border.
I'm sure there it's different.
I think in Texas, like my part of the border here is mountainous. It's high desert. There's flatter parts of the border where they may have more of an issue, like in Texas or Yuma, Arizona. But this part of the border here, it's high desert, high altitudes, very inhospitable climate at night. So, people do see different things.
Yeah, they do indeed. And you make a good point. Different places see different things. Sheriff, I got to run. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.